Cry!
Oh, hello everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to another stream, a special stream that it is. Like someone says, bet on seeing Adam wearing his Grimlock shirt.
The bets are off. You won.
So, hello everyone to the 4th year anniversary stream with a lot of special guests, Adam and Joss.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back.
More to come, right?
Yeah, we have actually got a few guests joining us. Deb is going to be joining us in a bit. We're going to have Chris and Andrew later on the stream. So we just said like we invite a lot of people that from the older times and they can.
I made a face out of cookies.
Oh, that's true designer force there.
He's not an artist.
So yeah, it's been 4 years now since this game has been live, like long time, and a lot of people have walked through this. Let's just do some introductions, I guess, for the people that maybe have not been watching us since the start. So, Adam, do you want us to talk about what you used to do in the game?
Sure. I joined Transformers team straight after joining Apespace in 2015, and I've been a designer on the game, and later lead designer on the game, released the game, and then supported for a couple of years after launch. So yeah, used to do everything from writing story to making new bots to balancing the game and the economy and combat balancing and everything that the first 120 or so bots, 100 maybe 10 that you played came from under my thumbs. And then I was followed by some really great people too.
Was Skylings the last one you designed? I can't remember.
Skylings was one of my last bots, and the last combiner was Volcanicus and Predaking, and they are my faves, which is why it's my background.
Cool.
K9 Stan says 4 years and still no paddles, Adam.
Yeah, that's basically, you got me. Like, this is exactly the reason why I left the team. They couldn't bend and get paddles into the game, so huge divide formed between me and the paddles camp and the non-paddles camp. That's exactly why I had to leave.
Yeah.
And that's why Josh took over, and yeah, he was anti-paddles.
Anti-paddles.
And he
Always
won.
been. Still am anti-paddles. Yeah, I took over from Adam. Adam trained me, but then I defeated my master in single combat and took on the title and decided that there would never be a paddles in the game. Actually designed everything that I did. I put in special secret Easter eggs in the code to make sure that paddles could never be added. And if paddles was added, the game would implode. So sorry about that. It's been done. So yeah, took over from Adam for a little while. I had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun being on the stream with y'all. And we made some cool Transformers. We made Menasor and Victorion there, the combiners. Some of my other favorites that I made were definitely Alita 1 and Lugnut. Those are still love those bots.
I think Lugnut, if I am to interrupt, I think Lugnut was one of the designer tests. I believe that included Lugnut.
It was when I got hired at Space Ape. One of the bot that I submitted as my on my design test was Lugnut. So getting to make him for real was a real treat. and I loved pairing up with Alita 1 too. I was really happy to see in a recent trailer. I think it was the GI Joe trailer. Alita 1 there with her laser staff.
Nice.
It was chosen by the players actually, so that's legacy
yeah.
for you. Yeah. So
Thanks.
I guess you did well. Yeah.
Thanks, y'all. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, and we had Prime Cores, and we had Sentius Magnus, Sentius Malus.
I think you also did the Titans. Did you do the Titans, right?
I started the Titans. It was the last thing I did before I left. Is I did a like a little test level with the Titan, and said, "Here you go, make this work."
you handle the rest.
Yeah.
I remember. I think Power Cores was the last feature I worked on. I was quite stoked on it, and then I was like, "Hey, he was like 50, but you need to make more. Like, you do the rest." Good luck, Josh. This is how you make a Power Core.
Yeah.
And we had like lots of ambitious plans, and it was really cool for me to see a lot of the ambitious plans actually materialize, because we thought about prime cores and other things and like skins and titans. We had ideas, of course, for years, and we couldn't get them out as quickly as we wanted to.
Yeah.
And to see them, see different designers follow through with these ideas and in their own way, and take them to a place where like I didn't expect you get the titans as cool as they were. So
and raids too.
And the raids, exactly. So that kind of legacy of like, here's a little nut of an idea and people taking it.
I think
it's amazing.
raids, like Adam did the design and then he just moved from the team. Then Josh came in, and then that's one of the first things we had to do is like, let's just try to figure how we can do raids. And then of course as soon as that happened, like Fabian took over. So it's been a journey for sure, like over the years where someone starts something, but it's pretty good because everyone else just follows and until release, and then or a lot of people had some ideas early on, like, oh, it'd be nice to do these cores that can change weapons, and then like 4 years later now we have combat bots that can change weapons and things like that. So it's been, I think, a really great journey for 4 years now in the game.
Yeah, and you guys have been doing such a great job since we left. Man, I mean, the bots you're making now, they're cool, crazy cool. Love the combat stuff. You're doing things we said couldn't be done, and you're doing them, and they're awesome. So great work, guys. Great work.
How many more great bots are there? Like, are we scratching the?
No, we still have not actually done quite a few of the original J1 bots, and we still every stream people say like, "Oh, you've not actually done grapple yet or engineer hoist or that guy." And it's like, in time, we still have lots of years to go.
Yeah, you have to keep some aces up your sleeves. At paddles, right? That's year 5.
Nope,
year
not
5.
happening.
A year from now, June 4th, 2021. I said it. Paddles coming out, and now you guys have to do.
I just have to make it now. Paddles and not let the game explode.
Don't
Otherwise,
do it.
Your fans just won't let
do
it. Do it. It's amazing. Do it. Like for people who don't know who Paddles is, you should definitely read up on Paddles on the Transformers wiki. It's the saddest story I think ever.
Such a deep character
in popular like culture and media. Like it's a deep character who's been left and abandoned by his friends multiple times, always
and
disregarded.
Should stay abandoned.
The fact is our planet Earth is 70% water, and that's why Paddles is the true king of Earth, not Grimlock. It's Paddles.
Maybe if we do a new base, which is just all water base, we can get Paddles and we can actually get the aircraft carrier, the other triple changer.
See, it writes itself.
What was that guy's name?
It's only fair it happens.
Cool. Should we actually talk about how we're celebrating these 4 years with the anniversary event? Before we actually go in and do some more questions and talk more with the guys. So this week's event, Jairo, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I think some people may be waiting for it. Who knows? But the event itself is Forgotten Legends, as you can see in the screen. And it has some of the much looked for rewards. That is the anniversary crystal. It started to happen, I think, last year or a few years ago. That is a 4-star crystal that guarantees a 4-star. So it checks your bots, it checks the ones you are missing, and it will grant a 4-star from a list of these bots. Usually the lineup is matching a premium character, so it doesn't have the last 4 or 5 bots we have released, but it's up to, I think it's the second batch we had of Jaito bots. So the collection you can get is pretty good. And if you happen to be one of these lucky players that have all of them, you will get 500 shards, 5-star shards instead. So it's a good deal for everyone. It's I don't know if we can go into the event itself, Yannis, to show the different tiers.
Go in.
Under your desk.
Just like pull it up.
It's pushing the red button.
You got like a set of levers.
Oh, nice. So yeah, as you can go up on the different rewards, this aim for everyone. So we have Crimsix that will help you go through the battles. Crimsix. You do the voice, please.
Crimsix! Is it still in the game?
Yes, it's still in the game. So some quick trivia for some people that don't know, the Crimsix that you can summon here in the game is actually Adam.
So he has never gone. It's always been there. So
voice
yeah,
acting credits for that.
Amazing. Yeah, well, you will hear a lot of Adam during the event because you will get a lot of Crimsix, so you can or gather them or use them to advance over the event. You will unlock a celebration canister. This is an update from the one last year. It's a chest, it's a celebration, it contains all the possible sparks, it contains 3 I believe premium shards in a different amounts, so you can get up to 30. So over the event you will get a lot of spark, probably the highest amount you have get before or you have seen before. You will get power core chips. We don't use this not much, but they are actually now updated, and every chip has a chance to drop a G metal or a gold or a silver or a bronze power core. And at some point you will get also the celebrated 4-star crystal. It's not so hard to get, so play with your friends, get your allies, and push together at least to unlock this crystal, but because it's very worth it and it's probably the best reward you can get. And once you get it, you can go further to unlock more and more celebrated canisters that also have some guaranteed rewards. It's a super XP, so all comes together in this event. All comes together this weekend. The best rewards, the best XP, and I hope you have a lot of fun playing it.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Since we're showing the game and we have Adam and Josh with us, we go to the next tradition, that customary tradition of going through the dialogue.
Oh,
we should do that. We should also do some shout outs. We haven't done it really warms my heart to see some people in the Twitch chat.
Actually, let's do that. Let's just say hi.
I remember from years and years ago. People like Uncle Scrooge and many other.
Let's do some hellos for a bit, and then we can do the dialogue, I think. Do you guys want to do some hellos?
Go ahead, Adam.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna go from the top, from like people joining into the Twitch. We have Uncle Scrooge, as I said. We have Fow77. We have Gamer 182377. We have Fire Dark Shay. What's up? Silverboat 94. I believe I remember you from some time ago. Scrooge 1024. We have Pappy Blaze and Lord Dragir, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, Gunfire 5863, Mr. Cupcake, and many others. Are we also streaming on YouTube?
Yeah, and Facebook.
Right, you call them out then.
On Facebooks, we have Dave Crooks, Jim Dewas, hello to Gino Coplo, Rojas, Sebastian Rudat. We also have Sean Boxell watching us. Hello to Rabia Silvia Luna, Nick Payne, and Christopher Limour. And I think that's it. for Facebook.
And I can do YouTube. Hello, Trios Theory, Dirty Spot, Evil
Oh, that's a
Teacher,
familiar name.
Spot.
Kevin Sotlar, Zena33, Stuck in Beta, Deadpools, Subby Girl AWD, Grand Galvatron, Sunstriker Rosa, lots of people.
Oh, Strandsticker was it? That's a familiar name as well.
Miraz,
Very
Jake,
familiar name.
a lot of people that have been here since the start of Christmas, since we started. Actually, it's been since we had the lockdown. We've been actually getting a lot of players that have been with us in the start of the game, joining us a stream, and we actually can hear the story from their side, how this game actually affected them and how they think of us. So it's been actually pretty nice to have all these people joining us, YouTubers and all players into the stream.
That's cool.
Ooh. Shall we then move to the dialogue, everyone's favorite?
Wait, I don't have my printed script. You know how
Ah.
much I need those printed scripts.
It's okay. I think you can improvise. Let's see if it actually can make it work. Okay. So 1 sec.
I've got prime time back.
Mm,
It's always prime time on our stream. Right, use your wizardry.
Can you
Optimus Prime time.
can you guys see now the in game?
I can.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's do this. I think we're all good.
Wait, who's doing what?
It's a
Yeah.
pick whoever you want. I'll start with Impactor. Right about now, the Thesaurus is probably putting the finishing touches to his new combiner. And what are we doing? Nada. Sitting on our thumbs.
I'll do Springer. Impactor's right. We gotta engage pulverize mode. Start wrecking and ruling like we mean it.
He's back, Springer. I'm as gung-ho to go as you. You know me, nullify first, negotiate later. But for all we know, the Big D has a whole nest of cons in their base now and a combiner. What we need is a cutting edge of our own.
All right, I'll be a leader one, sure. I'm with Cub. Running headlong into who knows what will just spiral the casualty count. Give Blaster and Melody time to hack the solar satellite array, then roll out reinforcements from Cybertron. Oh, it's me again. Bah! Be too late by then, Alita 1. We gotta go now, and damn the consequences.
Even if we get us some space bridge access, what, or rather who, could we bring with enough Legends class clout to clobber a combiner?
Exactly. The Thesaurus is importing his big bad boat of peace at the time. For a reason, space bridges, even at the best of times, are notoriously limited in their capacity to power ratio. It's a lot of energy for a little lock.
In other words, there's no way to whittle up a counterforce with enough whammy to do us a blind bit of good.
So better all around act in haste than repent at leisure.
Perhaps we're looking at this the wrong way around. And who we need is already here, on Earth.
What do you mean, Drift? Oh, wait. I see. But that's just a legend, isn't it?
All legends, Elite One, are just events, revved in the midst of the time. It is written that in our time of our most need, he shall rise.
He? He who?
I have no idea, actually.
You.
I want to know now. Who?
I
That's a
usually
bit-
have like I know everything ahead of time. This time I have no idea.
Well,
I think I have a guess. I've got a good guess.
let's say that people
Oh, he.
people will
think I-
find out soon, probably in the next stream. But we will probably leave it for now.
That was amazing.
It's good to have to actually people that can actually voice over like Adam and Josh back. we just make do.
I have not done it for literally years now. Yeah. I wish I did it more.
Yeah, you'll have to invite us to do some more voiceovers in the future.
For sure, if you guys want, you're always welcome to jump in just for the dialogue.
After all, Adam gets paid extra anytime he does voiceover work now. So
Get all these royalties. Oh, I don't. I don't.
We pay you with cookies, though.
Jyoda was suggesting I was already retired on like a private island. I wish. It'll be much nicer to be locked down on a private island than in a small flat in London. So maybe sometime soon.
would.
Cool.
James Snuka wants some Megatron dialogue for Adam. Maybe you could just give us some Megatron voice real quick, Adam.
Just let me finish my cookie.
Eat a cookie midstream, man.
Yeah, I'm down from the full plate until like a little Cyclops left.
All right, go Megatron.
Energon. Power flows to the one who knows how.
There you go.
Desire alone is not enough. Yes.
Well done.
Excellent. It's hard because you can't hear yourself because I have headphones. My wife is popping over. Go water, thank you. It's a great time.
Oh, Sunstreaker Waza is asking Adam and Josh, what are you guys up to now? What are you working on? I'm working on another game that I can't talk about.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I think Adam was probably gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, I'm working on another game. It's a cool game. It's a multiplayer game, and I hope to have some of you play it when it's out. Who knows when? But it's been going on for a couple of years now, so sooner than later.
You mean paddles beer?
Sorry?
Paddles beer, so you can impress
Paddles. Yeah,
paddles
it's
and
just
Goggle on, yeah.
paddles
That's-
battle royale. 60
that's the
paddles
only thing
is-
you can do. Yeah,
Oh, Andrew's here.
Oh,
and it's here.
yeah, it is a mobile game. Yeah, absolutely, it is a mobile game, and Josh is working on a mobile game as well. So, in general, Space Ape is working on mobile games, and there will be more games from Space Ape for sure, and not far from now. I hope. Fingers crossed. We never know with game stuff. Takes a long time to make games.
so welcome, Andrew. Actually, we're too many now. We cannot actually fit into the other view.
I was told to show up at 5:25.
With a picture of an office behind you that you're not in.
Well, you could look at my dirty flat, or you can have the office.
All right, I can leave to give guys more space.
Thanks, Josh. It was nice joining us.
It was nice joining you as well.
Thank you.
All right, happy anniversary, Transformers.
Bye, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, and
Oh,
Deb.
and Debs is here.
Oh wow! Nice.
Hello, Debs.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey Debsy, where are you?
I just went from Switzerland at my brother's house to Germany to Cologne. So that's why I'm a bit tardy. I had to go from train to here and stuff.
You're way off the map.
Yeah. Oh, my background. Hold on. There we go. It's better, hey?
On
Oh
brand.
wait, now I have the same one as Giannis. That's no good either.
No,
I
it's
know.
not-
He
it's-
earlier
it-
had.
It's
he-
not the
I
same
actually,
one. It's
I
not the
actually
s-
bullied Yanis because we came in and he also had Volcanicus and Predaking on the background and the same T-shirt. I'm like, come on, Yanis, you can't have the same T-shirt and the same background. You.
I feel
It's
better
not
now.
fair though. You did take the best one, AK. Like,
I actually put it a couple days ago because I was worried I'm gonna have my new game on my background. That would be the worst way of announcing a game.
Yeah, I know. I remember you were saying. I was like, oh, that's such a good point. It's funny.
So yeah, Andrew just joined us with you, Deb. So we spoke already in the morning with Adam and uh, Josh. So I guess it's just we can ask like Andrew. Like it's been a while since you worked in the game. What was your best memories? And a small introduction for all the people that don't remember. I guess what you used to do.
Yeah, I
Who
wouldn't be
are you?
surprised if no one remembers who I am. That'd be fine. All right, let's see. So, when Transformers launched, I was the live live operations manager on the game. So I was doing basically what Jairo does now. So we worked a lot on designing events and promotions, working with Chris, the product lead, Adam, the designer, Nick, the product manager, I suppose at that time, to kind of make sure all of the features and all the designs of the game kind of worked with the events and how we wanted to have like crystals work and all of that. So yeah, that's what I did. And then I don't know, the most memorable. I think I like the most memorable for me is really easy because it's still the launch of the game. Like that's obviously the most memorable. Um, After that, the thing that sticks out the most to me, let's see what comes to mind. So my favorite launch was definitely Predator King and Volcanicus because that was really exciting for us because we got to work with Hasbro, and there was like some really fortuitous like stars aligned for that, where we said, "Hey, it'd be really cool if we did this," and then we found out that Hasbro was kind of looking into it already, and then so that was a really fun launch, especially getting to see like Predator King in full 3D, and we got to do Volcanicus and everything. It was awesome. And then there was a great meme that came out of my time on Transformers where they stuck a swan at my desk, put a big blow up swan like from a pool toy swan. They put my hoodie on it. I was on vacation, and they called it Swan Drew. And now people
It
call
was
me
as
Swan Drew, and
productive as you were. It was really good.
so like I think it's kind of like an internal, like people who are on T-Rex really understand where this weird nickname I have came from, but everyone in the office calls me Swandrew now. But really only T-Rex or Transformers people appreciate that it was a giant blow up swan placed in my desk with a hoodie on it while I was on vacation. So you
Do we
know,
have a picture of that still? I had a picture of
We
Swan. Oh, I'm
definitely
looking.
can dig it up.
I'm looking
Also,
now.
Got a
my favorite
picture of
contribution
Swan
from
Drew.
Andrew is he's the guy who said we should do Sharkticons. They are
Oh yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
They're ridiculous.
yeah. I was super hyped on Sharkticons because I remember when I learned what they were, I was like, these things are ridiculous. They have to be in the game.
And a
So
perfect time for Chris to join us too.
Hi guys.
Hello.
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 So Chris is actually gonna need more introduction because he actually was not in that many streams. I think he didn't join as much, but he's actually is the person that actually started all this. He was a driving force in us getting this project from Hasbro, and he was the game lead for the first 3 years, all the way to release until I took over. So he's one of the person we need to thank for the awesomeness that this game is, and what they've done after so many years.
Well, yeah, I mean, working on Transformers was a dream job anyway, because I was always a massive Transformers fan, and it was kind of an opportunity to work with a lot of my heroes other than you guys. So it was really great to have the opportunity to go and visit Hasbro and look at the production line for the toys. It was amazing to uh, work with the voice actors. It was amazing to work with Simon Furman. So it was kind of a bit of a childhood dream because I got to pick all the people I loved from the world of Transformers from the 80s and beyond, and then bring them on board to the project. So yeah, it was a great experience, and really delighted the game's still going strong now. And we never probably thought when we started we'd get as many characters in as there are today. I mean, there's even Transformers going into the game now where, to be honest, some of them I haven't even heard of them, and I consider myself a big Transformers nerd. So yeah, it's amazing stuff.
I think everyone is also sharing what's their favorite feature or thing we've actually done and or memory from working in the game.
Um, oh, there's lots of good memories, really. Obviously, when we first did Combiners, that was awesome. It seems like an old feature now, but I was really delighted to see that go in, and it was always something we wanted to do. We didn't manage to get it in for launch because there was a million other considerations and things we were working on. But Combiners was definitely a great moment, and the first time we saw the animation of them all coming together and combining was really awesome. And I think leading up to doing the Dinobot Combiner was really interesting as well because it was something we'd wanted to do. Hasbro had been working on something behind the scenes. We were unaware of it, but we came up with a similar idea around the same time, and yeah, that was pretty amazing. So lots of favorite moments. But I think in general, it was just great to be able to bring like a Transformers game back again. There hadn't really been a big one on mobile for a long time, and yeah, this was an opportunity, well, I guess to sort of bring forward a lot of nostalgia from the brand as well, but also update things as well. We didn't want it to be, pure like nostalgic game. We wanted to bring memories from the 1986 movie, the original toy line, and stuff from the present day as well. So yeah, it was a great experience, and long may Transformers Earth Wars continue.
Yeah. Indeed.
There is so much to unpack in Chris's background. I'm
Yeah.
I'm
I
trying
was-
to see.
Well, I did actually. If you want to see him, I brought for you.
I was gonna say,
Transform-
Kristen, you bring
yeah,
us things.
I did bring you things like I mean, as I said, I was a big Transformers nerd, and back in the sort of mid '90s, the Marvel comic had finished, and it's quite sad because I've been reading the Transformers comic since the mid '80s, since basically I could start to read. I was getting the Transformers comic, so I had like 300 plus issues that came out in the UK. Then I was buying the Generation 2 comic, and then it all stopped. But at the end issue of like the Generation 2 comic, there was a sort of thing saying, hey, the comic's stopping, but there's a Transformers club you can join. This is before the days of the internet. So I was like, yes, I'm signing up for that. And it was a UK based club. And we organized like a bunch of conventions at the time and got some of the comic book artists down. So it was kind of awesome because I got to meet my heroes and the people that made the comics. And one of the artists was a guy called Lee Sullivan. And he did a lot of the artwork on Transformers. And yeah, he had a bunch of stuff for sale. So I'll see if I can grab it quickly. Hold on.
Oh,
I still remember the story of Chris going to the cinema to see
Yeah, so
Transformers movie.
yeah, so these are some of the original bits of art that they use for the UK comic. And if you look really closely, actually all the sort of speech bubbles on here, they're stuck on with glue. There's Tipex used for some of the white highlighting and stuff like that. So this is obviously before it was coloured and put in the comic. So yeah, I managed to get a load of the original artwork of the comic I love. So that was a really cool moment. I think for me when I was younger, the comic really brought Transformers alive because the writing and stuff like that was just probably a little bit of a step ahead from the cartoon show, which was good and great to see everything animated, but probably lacking in the depth that the comic went into. So that was a really cool moment.
I don't think there was ever a better person to start a Transformers game than Chris. When I joined, I knew very little about Transformers because I wasn't exposed to it in Poland where I grew up. But I slowly kind of absorbed that knowledge. But yeah, just to see Chris's like expanse of like information was just astounding. And
Well,
I had
I
to
was
spend many hours on Transformers Wiki to kind of catch up.
yeah, I was kind of terrorizing the team really because I was doing Transformer quizzes, so this was sort of like, you were shamed if you didn't know the answers to a lot of obscure questions. So to get
Yeah.
everyone's knowledge of Transformers up, we were doing Transformer quizzes and all sorts of things. But to be honest, now I think a lot of other people that work on the game know more about Transformers than me. So it's kind of great that everyone's sort of taken it on board and as passionate about Transformers as I was when I first started the project.
Yeah. I think we all start like that. Like I was a fan of the original series, but I lost that since I was a kid. And then by joining, I had the opportunity to read in the wiki. But every time I needed to just find out if what someone from if someone that's fan will perceive for a future of a new bot, I always will go to Chris and ask him like, "Well, what do you think, Chris? Will you like that or something?" So I can get an inside opinion. So it's always been useful to have some big fanboy in our team to run through things.
Yeah, but it was a good experience. Like at the time when we started developing Transformers, we'd kind of outgrown the studio we were in. So a small group of us like went off to our old office, which was it's kind of a funny place. It was sort of above like an old book and sort of comic shop, I guess. And it was just like a small room with us all in. The main office was really nice, and like we were in this sort of like slightly run down, rickety office, trying to build Transformers together. There was no air conditioning in there. There was constant drilling outside, the noise of like work going on. It was a real noisy environment, but kind of a fun place to be as well. So we kind of decamped from the main office, went off, and started building Transformers. And I guess I think it took us about a year from start to finish until we like soft launched. We released the first version of the game. I think it was in Australia, and then about another half year after that until we fully launched. But obviously, like the range of features that you see in the game today is far beyond what we launched with, and that's because the team have been working really hard just adding features month in, month out. And I'm amazed at some of the stuff that's going into the game now. It's I never dreamt the game would be as deep and as fully featured as it is today when I first started it.
Thanks, Chris.
I have to log into the Twitch chat because I want to see. I want to see what's happening.
It's alive.
My Twitch chat's not working for some reason.
Yeah, Twitch actually went down for a bit. So I don't know, so didn't see any questions or people speaking because I was trying to refresh it and it was actually down. So I don't know if Twitch has some problems, but we're still live on everything else, on live in Facebook.
No, I see you're live on Twitch.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we're
seems
live.
like
I think I just like some connection issues.
Giota 320 said, "This brings back memories of when I used to bug Adam every stream." Props for not outright blocking me, lol.
Yeah, I remember trying to like run the stream and then like having 20 people PM me at the same time and trying not to like ignore. I don't know. It's difficult. I think every fan deserves, some attention from me. I wish I could do more, but
Would you say every fan deserves attention?
like if you
From
take the
you.
time, if you take time to write, right, some like piece of like a good suggestion or some actual actionable feedback, then like it's important we read it and then so we can. A lot of stuff was actually actioned before.
No, I think just
Yeah,
when you
so
said every fan, it made it sound like they were your fans. And
No,
not
no,
like
not my fans.
fans.
Not my fans.
I mean, the postman is overwhelmed carrying all this fan
Transformer
mail to
fans.
Adam. It's-
Oh, I know. He's got back problems. Oh.
It gets more mail than Father Christmas.
Yeah.
I get no mail.
Although Swandrew always had admirers as well.
He did.
We don't need to talk about that. That's
Don't
okay.
we? Oh, yes, we do. Some of my favorite
Did you
memories.
receive? Did one receive like fan drawings and stuff?
No, I don't
Because
think
Deborah
so.
definitely had
think
fan
Deb
drawings.
definitely got fan
did.
drawings.
I remember
Yes.
Anime Transformers Deborah.
I was very well. I don't know what the word is.
well rendered, not very well dressed.
Yes, I was amply rendered in the.
Subtle.
picture.
I remember this.
Yeah,
but-
well, I guess Transformers is different, right? Like in some of our other games, like Rival Kingdoms, we've actually put people that worked on the game into the game. But in
Yes.
Transformers, we can't do that. I mean, you're unlikely to see me like transforming into, I don't know, what I transform into, like an old toaster or something crap.
Never say never.
Laser beams coming out my eyes. I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
So
You mean Luca isn't a younger Chris White?
could be.
No, I don't think so. There was a funny comic strip that they used to do in the sort of at the back of the old Transformers comic, and it was like failed Transformers, and it would have one that transformed into a lamppost and all these other things, and it was like their little story of the failed Transformers, and I always liked that. It was great fun. Sort of the ideas of like what they could transform into, things that were totally uncool, rather than cool rocket ships and cars, and later Beast Wars and animals and dinosaurs.
Oh gosh.
I like there's some comments in tweets, people saying like, Adam, you are old in the game, like you should tell Yanis to fix Thrust's face or something like
Yes.
that.
What's wrong with his face?
he has a black face because we took from one of Toyline that had a black face, and some people who don't actually approve that. So I love this. First core problems we have.
I think my favorite running request is Optimus Prime's trailer.
Yeah.
I've requested Optimus Prime's trailer. Like, you know, this was the thing I really wanted to do, and
I remember that.
I used to bring it up and be like, it would be awesome if this feature you got Optimus Prime's trailer, and everyone just kept looking at me like I was mad. What was the
You
other-
were.
Yeah, what was the other idea I had? I can't remember. There were a few things like this where I kept. I thought if I just keep asking, I'll get them eventually, but it didn't always happen.
I
So-
remember the trailer discussion so distinctly because we were like, "What would it do? What does the trailer do?" And you're like, "Oh, they'll like park on the side and they can like shoot missiles out there." We're like, everyone's like, "No one wants a trailer."
Yeah, well, the Generation 2 laser rod Optimus Prime, you know, the toy, he shot like flying discs out the trailer. So that could
Oh.
have been in there. I mean, you know, why not have Optimus Prime's trailer? Where did it go when it transformed? That's one of the unanswered questions. Apparently, subspace, I believe. But,
Subspace.
Hilarious.
yeah, just who knows?
There's a lot of love for the trailer. Yeah, probably less. So it was
Can you
like,
imagine the trailer
that
for
would
the
be
trailer?
amazing. The what? The
Oh.
trailer for the trailer. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
It comes out of nowhere and just like smashes into one of the like Predaking's head or something.
Yeah, I think the dream of the trailer's gone now with me. Like I was the last person capable of making it happen. Yanis is working on far more important things. So you know.
I don't know. It's like I'm passionate about the trailer. I want to have a complete Optimus Prime too. But if I can figure out a way to do it, maybe we'll get it in. You never know, Chris.
Ooh, maybe we could like do another crossover, and the trailer could actually house Kit from Knight Rider in it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh,
The gunner? More
For
retro.
the scout.
I hear heresy from there.
Oh, who didn't love that show? Come on. You know what? You want to know a fun fact that's completely off topic? Giannis always gets mad at me when I go really off topic. But because I grew up in Germany, and when we were watching Knight Rider, and it was just becoming like a huge thing, it had already been canceled in the US.
Well, he was there when the Berlin Wall came down, wasn't he? David Hasselhoff. He was.
Yeah, but the show was
Oh.
already done in the States by the time that happened, and then he got like a second surge and became like a huge phenom in Germany. So that was hilarious. My brother
It
and I
was
found that out the
huge
other
in
day.
Poland as well. Then there
I
was Airwolf as
bet.
well. For me as a kid,
Airwolf!
like to
Yes.
see like cool helicopters and cool cars, just talking cars.
You know what else has cool helicopters and cool cars? Transformers.
Yeah,
Oh.
sorry.
I know. I
Back
wish
Cooler
I had.
helicopter
Country.
cars, you might say.
Bring it back.
Oh gosh. Thanks for reining me in.
I remember how this works. I haven't done a stream in a while, but I remember.
Should we do a
the
trivia
dynamics.
then? As a reminder.
Hilarious. Oh, Giota just said, Giannis, oops, did you just disconnect Deb? Ha, ha,
I
ha.
wish I could.
People love Knight Rider and David Hasselhoff. They're supporting me. And Airwolf. Yes.
Oh, Airwolf.
It's decided then.
I think the theme tunes are the
Street
best
Hawk.
bits about all of these shows,
Yeah.
like Airwolf and Knight Rider. You know.
I think it's
Yeah.
from the
Gold.
80s and early 90s. That was the theme songs were amazing. Like from a lot of the cartoons, I remember just the theme songs were even nowadays. I just like every now and then just go and play them because they were so good, so original. Nowadays you just have like what 10 seconds of some instrumental music and it just doesn't even stick to you at all.
Be interesting to see. Well, obviously the Netflix Transformers show is going to be out soon, so it'd be cool to see like what the music's like for that. I'm quite excited.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
whoever
going to be
does it-
great. Going to be great to get a new Transformers kind of animated show on again. Like it's been a long time, really, especially one that's sort of maybe targeted at slightly older people like me.
Yeah, no. Well, I think we're all excited to see how that turns out. And really hopeful that it will be amazing because it will tell like a really, really good part of the story, I think.
Right, what do you have in store for us, Jonas?
Let's do some trivia. Um,
Yeah, I can read that up if you want. So the trivia, I'll remind everybody that you need to post your in-game name, alliance level, alliance name and level in the game together with your reply and answer. So the question is, Which one of these 4 Autobots survived the 1986 Transformers the movie? Wheeljack, Prowl, Gears, or Ironhide? I'll repeat the question. Which one of these 4 Autobots survived the 1986 Transformers the movie? Wheeljack, Prowl, Gears, or Ironhide?
Talking about the movie, I still remember when you actually. How many times did you get us to watch the movie, Chris?
Well, I probably every day. I mean, I used to watch the movie every day as a kid. Like, it used to drive my parents absolutely nuts. I think I've got it on every format. I've still got my VHS. I've got a few DVDs. Like, every time it comes out, I just buy it again. I've got the soundtrack on vinyl, the soundtrack on CD. Yeah, you can never have enough copies of Transformers the movie. It's great. It's a great film, a very unpredictable film when you first saw it as well, because it's not very conventional. Because all the characters that you went to see just die in the first 15 minutes. You're like, I really wasn't expecting that. That's quite unusual. So I think it's become a bit of a cult classic because it's quite a creative movie and doesn't really follow like the tropes of a lot of films in the genre. Really, it's just quite bizarre the way it plays out, and quite a creative film, I think.
It's really nice, and I do love the music. We still have requests for people saying like, "Can we get the music trailer, the music from the movie actually in the game?" And I was like, "Well, if Hasbro gets the rights, that definitely would be interesting to do that."
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the instrumental, like Vince DiCola stuff's awesome. Like, that sort of synthesizer sound of the 80s is very unique to the time, and yeah, it's really awesome stuff.
I still remember that every time Optimus dies, Christus has a tear.
I do. It's the only film that's ever made me cry. Transformers the movie. Like, I'm a hard man, but like Transformers the movie, it tugs my heartstrings. Like, just thinking about his face going grey and turning to the side, and Daniel kind of crying on him. I was like, oh, I didn't even like Daniel that much as a character, but when Optimus died, that's so sad. I have to turn off the camera.
It's interesting though. I don't actually see any correct answer so far to the question.
I think the question is very tricky. This time Nathan has has put a twisted one.
I'm not even sure if the your answer on the sheet is correct, guys. I'm just having a look at it now. Where did you get this?
That's
bit
what
of
I'm
trivia
starting
from?
to wonder.
I'm actually
replies.
not too sure.
I don't
Like,
know. Nathan is never wrong.
Yeah.
I support Nathan.
okay.
Oh wait, actually, he did one time send an email with a correction in it. So okay, he can be wrong. But
Okay.
I don't think he is.
I'm like racking my brains here now. I'm like, I've seen this movie hundreds of times. Like, is this answer correct?
Interesting. So I guess it would be a controversial answer.
I got to Google.
Shall we repeat the question?
So the question is, I'll take it. Which of these 4 Autobots survived the 1986 Transformers the movie? Wheeljack, Prowl, Gears, or Ironhide? So which of these 4 Autobots survived the movie?
Oh yeah, I guess I've seen the answer. So you can sort of explain this one, I suppose, but you have to have a bit of knowledge of what happened after. I guess.
Is it going into next seasons and stuff?
Yeah, I was just thinking of it as the film in isolation. I mean, they're kind of robots, right? Everyone could be reactivated sooner or later.
I've always wondered about that.
So Chris is our winner. We have some freebies for you.
What do I win, guys? Do I get Optimus Prime's trailer in the game? Like, that would be awesome.
Or paddles.
Not paddles.
I didn't know the stakes were so high.
Is Wheelie Wheelie's not in the game, is he?
Not yet.
No.
I've been fighting against paddles for ages.
Okay.
There's a few few of the bots in the movie that still we have not done, so never know. Is it really one of the things that you wouldn't want us to get in, Chris? I can't remember. There was someone that you didn't really love.
It might be Wheelie.
Maybe Willie.
Yeah.
Shall we do another question?
I don't think anyone is gonna get this question.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see any correct answers.
What if you say that?
I didn't. I got it wrong.
Is it the question I think it is? Hold on, I have to look it up.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's gonna be controversial for sure.
Yep.
Oh, we like a good controversy. Wait, did you do question 2 first?
Oh,
No, we
No,
did question
that's
one.
one. Question one.
Ah. Okay, sorry. You're only starting trivia now. I thought you did a question before for some reason. I don't know why I thought that. I see. I don't know. Just say like, give them a hint.
Come on, Chris. You read the story, so give a bit of a hint.
Well, to be honest, I didn't know the answer to this. So, I mean, I was kind of like, I did watch, some of these series that you may see these characters reappearing. Like, I managed to get the Headmasters series, which was only released in Japan. I had that on a really, really bad VHS copy of a copy of a copy in the early 90s. But yeah, it's really, the answer relates to whether these characters reappeared in a later cartoon episode. And if they did, then in the timeline, and I guess they didn't die. So, shall I say the answer? Or do you want me to say the answer now or not?
No, I
Oh,
just
okay.
wanted you to
Oh, you
give.
just wanted a hint. You just wanted a hint. Okay. Yeah. So think about, like, did the characters appear in Japanese Headmasters? If you're familiar with the show, Transformers Zone, which was, I think, unreleased in the West. It was a sort of cartoon, I believe, that bridged the movie and the season 3 from memory. It's quite a long time since I watched it. A bit rusty. Yeah. There you go.
Maybe I see some answers.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
there's many timelines in Transformers. You could follow the Marvel timeline. You could follow the cartoon timeline.
My hint was just going to be, it's kind of a trick question.
Yeah, maybe that too. I mean, you could just brute force this. Every combination of characters, you'll get there eventually.
Sorry. Oh my gosh, it's funny. Now are people getting it?
I think we should just pick random people and then give them reward because it's been a really.
Okay, do that.
I feel like this is some sort of form of torture.
Yeah, so actually can
feel
do
tortured.
the second question.
Did you guys do dialogue? Because that usually is a form of torture for the player.
No, actually, dialogue was really good because we had
Oh, wow.
both Adam
Excellent.
and Josh here. So.
Oh boy.
Okay, fair enough.
Power flows.
To the one who knows.
I did that too.
Yeah, of course you did.
Okay, so we got some answers. So we have. So the answer was that all of them survived. Controversial.
Ta-da.
Yoda did reverse engineer that logic.
So the winners are Kyle Blanchett from Facebook, Ian McIntyre from YouTube, and from Twitch it was Yoda320 that might actually need to give us his details from e-game so I can actually find him. So they are the winners for this round.
Congrats!
Congrats, everyone.
The best trivia ever after 40 years.
We should do the next question while we still have some time, and that hopefully that's not gonna be controversial.
Yeah, this one's quite easy. Do you want to?
Yeah, go.
I can
Fabian.
take it.
Go, Fabian.
What is the name
Go.
of the first Autobot campaign in Earth Wars?
That's a toughie.
Ooh.
There's only one answer.
What
for
if
this,
you're
so-
what if you're playing Decepticons? I mean, that's the only correct way to play the game.
It is
Or
the
is
only
it?
correct way to play the game.
Yeah.
Despite my t-shirt.
So I guess we'll see a spike on players right now.
There's some migraine there. Cool.
Let's see.
We're almost at the time as well. Do we
Yeah.
have much
Oh
more?
wow, yeah. Time flies when there's 7 of you.
Do we have like Q&A section planned or something else?
We have questions, but it's mostly people, just sending questions about you guys. Nothing really deep about the game, so yeah, we can go through a few. Let's see. Will we ever get to see Metroplex and Triptychon as playable elements?
Yeah, Yanis, will we ever get to see that? On with the trailer.
That question was poison.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe if we can get the way you can actually give it to players and actually fit them somewhere, maybe something cool to give to players at some point. But if that happens, I think it would be really down the line. For me, like I think that's kind of the best thing we can give to players. So probably won't be just yet.
Yeah, the scale of them is just like a bit difficult to give to player, but some players were suggesting it could be something that has to do with Alliance. Alliance could acquire them. So I don't know, maybe there's some ideas there, but let's see.
I like the shout outs to Scorponok. He's really cool.
Yeah,
but he's somewhere between like.
Yeah. I know. There's details.
Well,
but Scorponok's cool.
Everything changes. I mean, there in some toy lines you have Scorponok just be a bot. Sometimes he's a Titan, and the same goes with a lot of the other characters like Omega Supreme. Sometimes he's a Titan, sometimes he's like a combiner like bot. So it does change. So at least we have the luxury of just do whatever we want with these characters, because part of the lore did have these characters in different sizes and different aspect races, I think.
Yep.
Good. I think we have do we have all the winners? Or who are we missing from?
We are missing one.
From which?
One. I got them all.
Okay.
So another question from a player: can we get humans as power cores? A combat cores.
It's like the Matrix.
That technically happened in the comic, hasn't it?
Well, I mean, technically we did have G.I. Joe running around, but not really running around the battlefield. So maybe
we discussed that potentially having a G.I. Joe character as a core, but that didn't cut it.
I don't know. Now that we have a lot of minions running around, maybe in the future, maybe we can get some humans running around and doing something.
You're gonna get squished.
Splat.
The warped animation is gonna be a red spot on the.
Oh, grim.
Good. So shall we say the correct answer to the trivia was Get Optimus?
So yeah, that's the name of the first Autobot campaign in the game, and the winners are Thunderbot from Arc New Union. We also have Jodster 16 from Automatic, and finally Blitzwing from the Sept of Kaon. Congratulations to you guys.
Cool. Congratulations, everyone. And I think we are about the end of the stream.
When will we see Andrew and Chris again?
When will we see you again?
Invite me, and maybe I'll. I was never invited before, so.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, that's so sad. You're always invited. You're all always invited.
Has he done any voices?
We did a little.
He did a bit of Kremzig and Megatron, but he says he doesn't do that anymore.
Oh, really? You're beyond that now? It's above your pay grade, is it?
No, I mean, I wish I could do it for my new game, but I don't think they will ever allow me.
He's just matured as a person, so he doesn't need to do those anymore. He's adapted and grown up.
Yeah, but when we were making the game, Adam was constantly trying to convince me that he should be the voice of Megatron and Grimlock, and I kept having to let him down very gently. And then we got like a true like Hollywood professional who was actually the voice of Megatron. So, yeah, that was the end of Adam's voice career. Quite sad, but I
Pretty
did.
sweet.
I shut down his dreams.
You
Unfortunately,
clipped my
that was me.
wings before I ever took off.
Yeah, you didn't even
That's
get
the
close
truth.
to the sun.
Sad.
Cool.
And swans can't fly very well either, can they?
What?
Yeah.
Swans fly amazingly. Thank you very much.
And gracefully.
Very. And they're ferocious.
Right, awesome. It's been a pleasure to be
been
here
a
with you
pleasure.
guys.
Swans are ferocious. I saw a swan attacking a duck once. It was really
A
horrible.
duck.
Yeah.
There were no swans in Beast Wars, so unlikely to make it into the game.
Is there not a swan transformer? This is.
not to my
Not
knowledge.
yet.
No.
I was just gonna say this is unacceptable to me. Swan.
Not yet.
There must be one.
I mean, there's some really disturbing fan art now that I've opened Google Images,
Oh
but
gosh. Is it about you?
no. There's a swan just with a bunch of like little baby swans on its back, all dressed like Transformers. I mean, it's not really
Oh,
disturbing.
that sounds
it's just-
adorable. Why is that
it's strange.
disturbing?
Strange.
Sounds super
It's
cute.
not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah, we could maybe pair a Decepticon swan with paddles. I think that would work.
Oh no. It's like the thing I want and the thing I don't want. I'm
It's
very
life, isn't it?
very anti paddles. Very anti paddles. Paddles.
Well, guys,
Yeah. So
it's been a pleasure.
thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks everyone for sticking around for 4 years. I think for everyone to work in the game, I think it's been like one of the best times we had. For me anyway, like it's been one of the best experience I had working in the games industry. The games I still love and I still I'm really passionate to work in, and I think everyone just like felt the same, but a lot of people had to move in order to do some new projects, some new cool ideas, but they're all really care about us, and that's why they're here now. Um, yeah, I think we can always thank the community for sticking around with us, the YouTubers for doing all the awesome content over the time, playtesters for actually now joining us and help balancing the content, and all of the people that send suggestion, bugs, and every other things. I think our community has been the strongest force of this game, and this is why the game has been so healthy and so great after 4 years. So hopefully you guys can stick around more, and we have a lot more to give. I think coming into the next stream, we will also announce I think what's next. So more exciting things to come for sure.
Will we know what the answer is to who is he?
You're gonna find out in the next
Oh,
stream.
yeah. That is
Do
not.
it.
That is not next week, by the way.
No, it won't
No.
be next week. I did say next stream, so we actually not gonna be doing now the streams every week. We are now, I think, a lot of us back in the office, some of us. So we don't have as much time. So we will go to a bi-weekly format as we used to. So in 2 weeks' time, we'll have more reveal about which are the new characters coming in next into Transformers Earthwars and who is he, if that's the new characters or something else. So stay tuned to find out more.
Awesome.
Huzzah!
Any last words for you guys?
I just want to
Last
say
words.
that
Goodbyes.
no, I just want to say that power flows to the one who knows how.
Ah, classic.
Misery alone is not enough.
It takes me
That's-
back 4 years.
That's all I have.
What a beautiful ending.
Oh, I really like Swander's background. That's great.
Yeah, I totally forgot how much I loved Beast Wars Megatron, and I was looking for a background. I was like, oh, I love that one.
You know, the toy of Beast Wars Megatron actually shot water, I think, from memory. Like, you think it sort of like had a water
Really?
device. Yeah.
We should have made the one in Game Shoot Water.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Roar!
It's funny. Oh, the memories.
And many more to go.
Yeah, it's nice to hang with you guys.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Hope you enjoy this week anniversary event. Get that 4-star that you're missing for sure by just participating in the event. Enjoy the rewards we gave out, and hopefully we'll see you next time. bye from us.
Happy
Bye.
anniversary.
See you in 2
Boris.
weeks.
Happy
Bye.
anniversary.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for
Bye.
joining.
Bye.
Bye, guys.